Microsoft Corporation is an American multinational technology conglomerate headquartered in Redmond, Washington. Founded in 1975, the company became influential in the rise of personal computers through software like Windows, and has since expanded to internet services, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, video gaming, and other fields. It is the largest software maker, one of the most valuable public companies, and one of the most valuable brands globally. Microsoft is considered part of the big tech group, alongside NVIDIA, Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, and Meta. Microsoft is ranked number 14 in the 2022 Fortune 500 rankings of the largest United States corporations by total revenue, and it was the world's largest software maker by revenue in 2022, according to Forbes Global 2000. In 2018, Microsoft became the most valuable publicly traded company in the world, a position it has repeatedly traded with Apple in the years since. In April 2019, Microsoft became the third U.S. public company to be valued at over $1 trillion. As of 2024, Microsoft has the third highest global brand valuation. Microsoft is one of only two U.S.-based companies that have a prime credit rating of AAA. Board of Directors. The company is run by a board of directors made up of mostly company outsiders, as is customary for publicly traded companies. Members of the board of directors as of December 2023 are Satya Nadella, Reid Hoffman, Hugh Johnston, Terry List, Sandy Peterson, Penny Pritzker, Carlos Rodriguez, Charles Scharf, John W. Stanton, John W. Thompson, Emma Walmsley, and Padmas Ray Warrior. On March 13, 2020, Gates announced that he is leaving the board of directors of Microsoft and Berkshire Hathaway to focus more on his philanthropic efforts. According to Aaron Tilley of the Wall Street Journal, this is marking the biggest boardroom departure in the tech industry since the death of longtime rival and Apple Incorporated co-founder Steve Jobs. On January 13, 2022, the Wall Street Journal reported that Microsoft's board of directors plans to hire an external law firm to review its sexual harassment and gender discrimination policies, and to release a summary of how the company handled past allegations of misconduct against Bill Gates and other corporate executives. Chief executives Bill Gates, 1975 to 2000, Steve Ballmer, 2000 to 2014, Satya Nadella, 2014 to present, financial when Microsoft went public and launched its initial public offering, IPO, in 1986, the opening stock price was $21. After the trading day, the price closed at $27.75. As of July 2010, with the company's 9 stock splits, any IPO shares would be multiplied by 288. If one were to buy the IPO today, given the splits and other factors, it would cost about 9 cents, 235 to 236. The stock price peaked in 1999 at around $119, $60.92, 800ths, adjusting for splits. The company began to offer a dividend on January 16, 2003, starting at 8 cents per share for the fiscal year, followed by a dividend of 16 cents per share the subsequent year, switching from yearly to quarterly dividends in 2005 with 8 cents a share per quarter and a special one-time payout of $3 per share for the second quarter of the fiscal year. Though the company had subsequent increases in dividend payouts, the price of Microsoft stock remained steady for years. Microsoft's online services division, which contains its search engine Bing, Microsoft profits were $5.2 billion, while Apple Inc. profits were $6 billion, on revenues of $14.5 billion and $24.7 billion respectively. Microsoft's online services division has been continuously loss-making since 2006, and in the first quarter of 2011, it lost $726 million. This follows a loss of $2.5 billion for the year 2010. Microsoft had earnings abroad of $76.4 billion, which were untaxed by the Internal Revenue Service. Under U.S. law, corporations do not pay income tax on overseas profits until the profits are brought into the United States. Subsidiaries. Microsoft is an international business. As such, it needs subsidiaries present in whatever national markets it chooses to harvest. An example is Microsoft Canada, which it established in 1985. Other countries have similar installations to funnel profits back up to Redmond and to distribute the dividends to the holders of MSFT stock. In 2004, Microsoft commissioned research firms to do independent studies comparing the total cost of ownership, TCO, of Windows Server 2003 to Linux. The firms concluded that companies found Windows easier to administrate than Linux, thus those using Windows would administrate faster, resulting in lower costs for their company, i.e., lower TCO. This spurred a wave of related studies. A study by the Yankee Group concluded that upgrading from one version of Windows Server to another costs a fraction of the switching costs from Windows Server to Linux. Although companies surveyed noted the increased security and reliability of Linux servers and concern about being locked into using Microsoft products. Another study, released by the Open Source Development Labs, claimed that the Microsoft studies were simply outdated and one-sided, and their survey concluded that the TCO of Linux was lower due to Linux administrators managing more servers on average and other reasons. Layoffs. In July 2014, Microsoft announced plans to lay off 18,000 employees. Microsoft employed 127,104 people as of June 5, 2014, making this about a 14% reduction of its workforce as the biggest Microsoft layoff ever. This included 12,500 professional and factory personnel. Previously, Microsoft had eliminated 5,800 jobs in 2009, in line with the Great Recession of 2008 to 2017. In September 2014, Microsoft laid off 2,100 people, including 747 people in the Seattle-Redmond area, where the company is headquartered. The firings came as a second wave of the layoffs that were previously announced. This brought the total number to over 15,000 out of the 18,000 expected cuts. In October 2014, Microsoft revealed that it was almost done with eliminating 18,000 employees, which was its largest ever layoff sweep. In July 2015, Microsoft announced another 7,800 job cuts in the next several months. In May 2016, Microsoft announced another 1,850 job cuts, mostly in its Nokia mobile phone division. As a result, the company will record an impairment and restructuring charge of approximately $950 million, of which approximately $200 million will relate to severance payments. During the first 6 months of 2013, Microsoft received requests that affected between 15,000 and 15,999 accounts. In December 2013, the company made a statement to further emphasize that it takes its customers' privacy and data protection very seriously, saying that government snooping potentially now constitutes an advanced persistent threat, alongside sophisticated malware and cyber attacks.